Can we do it without clipping the mic?
Welcome to Clean and Sober Stoner.
Man, you're great.
I was on the other link.
I sent. Yeah.
I just saw the new one.
I switched months.
Sorry.
Oh, what are you sorry for? You're like early.
Oh, you're in a different time zone.
I thought we were. Where are you at?
New Jersey. I'm Eastern time.
So am I. You said
We
10:30.
said 10 o'clock.
10:30.
Oh, I thought we said 10 o'clock.
Well, technically, and you'll appreciate this, neither of us said anything. It was oh shit. You're right, I'm wrong.
Boom. Nah, it's all good. Let me save what I'm doing. I'm working on stuff for tomorrow. But yeah. And I was gonna grab my other camera. Is this video okay? Is it alright?
I can't tell because of how Riverside works. It's giving me a 720, but
Okay.
on
You
your
look very clear.
oh, well, yeah, I just showered.
Oh well, I did too. It's nice. It's nice to shower before an interview, right?
I combed my beard. I'm like, I'm eating JJ. Right now it's showing me everything is 720. It's probably good.
Okay. Cool. Then let me
Grab some coffee.
I just finished.
So did I.
I was thinking of making another pot, but that's all right.
So I need you to do me a favor if you're willing to.
Is it tell you how to pronounce my last name?
Koczan, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, how is it?
I take Koczan. I don't really like pronunciation has varied forever, even in my family.
Koczan?
So I take Koczan, Koczan, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. If you want to just say JJ from the Obelisk, I am 100% fine with that.
You know, this is an example of your mercurial nature.
Oh, yeah?
You're very hard to pin down.
I had no idea.
You zig and zag. You go all over the place. You know, if you get accused... actually, let me do the favor first.
Okay.
All I need you to do is say, welcome to Clean and Sober Stoner.
That's it?
That's it.
And smile?
Oh, yeah. Preferably with a high, squeaky voice.
Welcome to Clean and Sober Stoner!
Can we do it without clipping the mic?
Welcome to Clean and Sober Stoner.
Man, you're great. I'm serious. And I've been nervous about this because
Really? Come on.
You are JJ Koczan. You're the voice
How
of a
exhausting that must be for me. Yes. What?
Voice of a generation.
Oh, fuck off.
The herald of the heavy. Really, that has to be really grating for you.
Really what?
Grating.
Grating?
For you.
No, it's not. It's like...
So you're faking it right now.
No, I'm not. It's beautiful sentiment. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. It does not reflect my experience of my work.
So I've been reading some old interviews of yours, and if I may, and if I'm wrong, that kind of adulation it ruins the narrative. That's not the narrative. How awesome you are. The narrative is, and I could be wrong, but I'm just a dude. This is my experience. This is what I use to define, and kind of like have a soundtrack for your life. But it goes a little bit beyond that. Would I be right?
I hope. I hope it's about more than me. But I am very, very fortunate that this thing that I do has an audience of some measure within sort of the sphere of the underground, such as it is, and I do not take that for granted at all.
Right.
That's everything to me at this point, because what else have I got? at least as regards music. So, you know, people say nice things, but my story of it is I do it because I need to do it. Like I could try and stop. I don't know that I would actually be able to at this point. And it's really a lot of my connection to the outside world at this point. You know, we saw each other. We got to meet at Desert Fest New York, and that was great. I don't go out a ton anymore. Both, like, I have developed some anxiety being in venues and being in the city and driving in the city and all of that, just being around that many people. But, you know, but so doing the writing and doing the work has sort of become my connection to outside. I am lucky that when I started out, I came from a professional background, and so I had PR connections, I had record label connections, especially within sort of the heavy metal thing, as that was what I was writing about before this. And you know, so I had support. So I had a support system there that still helps me. You know, I still talk to publicists I knew 20 years ago. So I'm incredibly fortunate for that, and incredibly fortunate to have an audience, and incredibly fortunate that my wife has been basically okay with me taking like the last 15 years of my life and dedicating myself full time to something that does not pay at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. And there's a lot of rabbit holes I could go down. But shout out to the patient, Mrs.
Wendy is her name. Yeah, she's incredible.
But readers of your work are going to know the pecan. Mm-hmm. Now, do you say pecan or pecan?
Yeah, you know, sometimes I say pecan or pecan.
See, so many nuances of the language.
That's it.
We have an extraordinarily imprecise language.
It's true. It's true. I've actually, I've recently started studying Hungarian, and it's amazing. And it's amazing to see sort of how, you know, and I've studied different languages, French and Spanish, and a little bit of German here and there, a little bit of Dutch, but like just sort of picking up things. But like, as you do. But this is the first time I've sat down and really sort of worked to study a language in 15 years at least. And so it's super cool to see sort of how the structure of words change. And I'm like getting to grammar nerd in different ways, you know, like, oh, this is a suffix for this because this vowel does this. And this is like, so it's all this sort of cool shit. Plus I get to write about Hungarian bands and then write hello in Hungarian and feel like I'm cultured.
Ooh.
Yes, I know.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was tempted to do the same thing with Polish because there are so many Polish bands. And I've seen a few writers saying Poland not known for, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Dope Lord, Space Slug?
Yeah. I mean, those two alone. I mean, before you get into like your Major Kongs or your Elvis Deluxes, right? You get Dope Lord and Space Slug. As far as I'm concerned, if you've got those two bands, that's a scene. Fine. The rest will work itself out over time. That's fine.
So when I saw you at St. Vitus, one, I hate that venue.
Do you? How come?
Oh, yeah.
How come?
It's one, I'm 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is not built for comfort.
That place, what it does, it culls the weak from the herd. Mm. You can, if you fit 200 people in there, it is cramped. The bands, so Stephen from Color Haze stepped on my left foot.
Stefan, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm in America. I pronounce Stephen stepped on my foot because they have to shuttle the equipment back and forth through the crowd. I've never seen a musician as pissed off as Scott Thompson from Lopan. Just
Really?
the look on his. Well, there's beer on the floor. He's got his big whatever that is bass amp. It's like St. Vitus. It's a torture. It's like CBGBs.
That's the entire thing, right? It's the heavy metal CBGBs. And like 30 years from now, people will be, I mean, people already are waxing romantic about the St. Vitus bar. They were like 3 years after it opened because that's Brooklyn. But let's be nostalgic about something that just happened. But I think it fills an important role. And it makes heavy metal cool in New York in a way that it never has been. Because New York had hardcore, right? And New York had Anthrax, but Anthrax was always touring, right? And even New York thrash and this and that. Like, heavy metal is cooler in New York now than it was in 1986.
I love that observation. That's a good one. Not being from New York, I wouldn't have picked up on that. The sound is horrible.
It is
they
not
have
great. It is
standing.
not, I mean, it's not a venue built to be like a nice place. It's a venue built to be rough. That's the aesthetic.
And let's be honest, I'm just trying to get clicks right now. I'm trying to see how many buttons I can press
cool.
for the dozens of people listening.
I will not drive there every week anymore, but I will defend that place. Like, I believe St. Vitus Bar has done an important thing for heavy metal. It is not an easy venue to stand around.
I know. And it's not the legacy and the myth of St. Vitus I hate. It's how my legs, my back, and my ears felt after being there. And Cult's the weak. If you're a poser, don't bother with St. Vitus. If you're not 100%, that's 100% commitment, brother. Whether you're going there to drink or you're going there to listen to the bands or you're going to play on the postage stamp. And Max Volume Silence makes it look like it's Freak Valley Festival at night.
Frank's amazing. Frank Wang. He's an incredible videographer. I did a show at Vitus in 2016 for some reason. And I had, 7 or 8 bands play. Frank taped them all. I mean, he's a great dude. And he does make the venue look larger than it is.
Well, and they have a heck of a soundboard because what you're listening to on headphones, from Max Volume Silence
is the board mix.
That's the board mix.
Yeah.
The actual, because I'm standing right in front of the bass amp for the band, that's all I could hear, and I'm a bit of a snob,
Yeah.
But I saw Low Band, and I saw Color Haze, and
you saw them there, and you didn't see them anywhere else.
And nobody else did.
That's it.
It's
that's what St. Vitus Bar offers you.
However, that's
exclusivity in a new way. That's the innovation.
It's the ultimate gatekeeper.
Luxury metal minus the luxury.
I might as well throw this out there now. I did see Caius.
Oh yeah?
1993.
What tour?
That was a Blues to the Red Sun tour.
No, I mean, who are they playing with?
They were opening for Faith No More.
Oh, right on. Wow.
And Babes in Toyland was the open. So Babes in Toyland kicked it off.
I did see Babes in Toyland. I saw
they were
Lollapalooza '93.
I wasn't ready for that. I did Lollapalooza '92.
Ah, there you go.
So because I've seen Caius, maybe the myth of St. Vitus isn't, because come on, exclusionist. I saw Caius.
No, totally. Man. I never saw Caius. I wasn't that cool. I came to the whole thing late. I was in 1993. I was probably rocking Primus, Alice in Chains, definitely. Metallica, that kind of stuff.
Hopefully the audience is going to put up with my banter. I'm only partially serious about Vitus because it is legendary, and I did see these bands there, and I was aware of the history of the whole thing.
I mean, the thing about about that venue as a box, I mean, it's an intimacy with the experience of the show that, let's say watching Color Haze at the Knockdown Center the next night, they were fantastic. I think they might have been better the second night. Certainly the sound was bigger and they were, but they had more room to kind of be on the stage. But I saw Color Haze at the St. Vitus Bar.
How many Americans can say that?
I saw Color Haze in 2006 in Ohio. It was the only other time they'd been to the United States. Color Haze had been to America 3 times.
Did they play? Was it Cleveland?
No, it was Youngstown. It was
Youngstown.
From the Monolith Festival.
Oh, essentially a suburb of Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland. I can make that joke. Youngstown,
okay. I'll take your word for it. Midwestern geography, not a specialty.
Next thing I know, the Youngstown wrestling team is going to dox me here in North Carolina. Respect to Youngstown. Respect.
Yes.
That's weird that the only other place they played would have been Youngstown.
Missions from the Monolith had some pull. Back, it was Greg Barrett ran the venue called the Nyabingi. And you know, they got Sun, they got Boris play. I mean, they had it like kind of before anybody was anybody. It was pretty awesome.
What year was this?
2006.
Okay, so that's before, because in 2006 I was beginning my Porcupine Tree Opeth phase. Mm-hmm. So
it's time to do it. Porcupine Tree.
I know.
Porcupine Tree putting out what was it, Deadwing in 2005? Yeah. Opeth doing Damnation Deliverance. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ghost Reveries. And then Dredge was a big one for me back then because I'm from California. But this isn't about me, theoretically.
Could be. We could talk about you. You have value. We could talk about you.
I'll be on that. When I'm on your show, you're interviewing me.
I have a show. I don't have a show. I was thinking about it, actually. Well, let's talk about this because I do video interviews sometimes. I'm not great at it. I'm not. I'm just not. Like, you know, I listen to some podcasts and every now and again, and I check out stuff like this. But like, I'm really much better at my keyboard, typing away about a thing, just sort of getting through the thing that I want to say in the way I want to say it. That's everything else is kind of extra around that for me, and that's my opinion of my work, my opinion of myself. But you know, but I was thinking about getting back into it. I have a little more time now. My daughter is in school full time for the first time in the last 6 years, and I have all of this day. That's just it. That's just a day, and I finish my work, and then I'm like, I guess I'll run the dishwasher again, or I guess I'm gonna vacuum, and like I'm trying to figure it out. And one of the things I'm trying to figure out and how to kind of reorganize my days after having no time is getting back to doing video interviews. Any tips?
Oh man, you know, there's a whole bunch, but like any tip that I have is from the perspective of this experienced substance abuse counselor who decides to do a blog and decides to do YouTube, where you'd be coming at it as an established journalist. You can at least accept that. And then so you expand your niche and get them to come in. I think the big thing...
That's the other thing, too, is like the thought of trying to build a thing. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I'm going to spend 15 years of my life hacking away at this shit and then be like, I'm going to go to YouTube.
YouTube is
make that a focus?
YouTube's an interesting experience. So you may have a baked-in audience where, you know, you've got 500 to 1,000
I've got
people.
like 4, maybe 5 dudes who are going to watch a video if I make one.
You'll have
that's reliable, and I'm probably one of them. And even I'll skim through it because some of them are really long. So, I don't edit that shit.
So it's a slog. I do edit. I didn't know what in the heck I was doing, and if you have the time, go back and watch my Gravehuffer interview. I think it's one of the great interviews in rock, right?
Wow. Okay.
No, hold on. That band was because of them.
Okay.
They were on point. I couldn't believe it, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I used to be an engineer back in like 1984 in Cleveland.
Okay.
And I have the microphone like this, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get echo if I don't move the mic. Little did I know, I didn't have the software set up correctly, so it wasn't recording them on the computer. Their sound was coming through the mic. So I spent 3 days going syllable by syllable, trying to raise the sound floor and get rid of the distortion. I did a horrible... And then my edit, it's a disaster, right?
Yeah.
But those guys showed up. And I thought it was is an amazing experience for me. I think if you were to read a transcript of that interview, it's great. You have to be willing on YouTube to put your balls out there like that, and people kind of go, "Oh, his balls are out." You're gonna screw up.
See, that seems like advice I'm not going to take literally. That's what it seems like to me.
It's been mentally, YouTube has been more difficult than my master's degree, more difficult than the year of a PhD I did. But I left because by the time I'm 62 and I have my doctorate, I'm too old. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
And I'm at 188 subs, 8 months into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I get notifications when someone subscribes. I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably do something. Dude, everything. I have said this 100 times, but it remains true. Is every time I do something that's not writing, I'm like pissed off to not be writing.
Yeah. That makes sense, but that's what you have to weather. If you're going to do YouTube, you commit. You have to learn a whole different SEO. You have to learn all this stuff, and then the endless promotion of the stuff.
Yeah, see, that's why like everything else I do is half-assed.
And then I thought, because I have a good readership on the blog, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, if I put a YouTube video in here, everybody's gonna click. No, 1 or 2 per month might click this. Readers are not YouTuber.
No, it's a completely different experience.
Or I simply haven't found the right thing yet. So I'm committed. At this rate, we'll be monetized by about 2030.
Okay.
Even then, Stoner Doom site.
If you've got a 7-year plan, congratulations. Kudos. I will confess that I do not.
Like I said, I'm getting old, man. They're in blocks. So what are the things I can do before I'm enfeebled? Mm-hmm. Assuming that I'm not now. And then what happens after the nursing home? All I need is a computer and a laptop. I'm good to go. I'll be drooling in the bed going, and I can't remember, but let's talk to him. It'll be great.
This is somebody. Yeah.
Okay, let me get this back on track. What I mean by mercurial is, on the one hand, you're a very serious writer writing about very serious things.
Yes, very serious.
Dude, I've got this. Do you remember your interview with Echoes and Dust? They asked you to submit. It's called Under the Influence.
Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, Jose Carlos. Yeah.
The picture of you is so serious, and yes, I will break all copyright and post it. You're serious. It's written.
Which picture is it? Let me look. Echoes and Dust.
It's the one of you standing.
And my silly name.
I wonder if I can.
Oh! I was very sick. Look at this poor guy. I was so sick.
What was going on there? What were you sick with?
I have a long history of mental illness, and I was anorexic, bulimic.
Okay.
I was just killing myself. So, yeah, I didn't actually get there. I was thinking the other day, though, that I definitely wish I had died 6 years ago. But that's where this came from. This shirt actually is an Ode to Doom thing. There was a New York series that I co-presented with a promoter named Claudia Crespo, who is lovely, and she sent me that shirt, and I took that picture to post that shirt. You see the border of the glass door. This was in Massachusetts. My wife and I had that door installed. It was like the best thing we ever did. Kid notwithstanding, I guess. And then, and right above that door, you can see the part of a circle is, it's a Star Trek commemorative wharf plate that we hung over our doorway.
Dude, if you have pictures of that, send it to me. I think...
Dude, are you kidding me? I don't need to show you a picture. Look, it's above my bedroom right now. There it is.
Dude, I'm telling you, if I put
right
Star
there.
Trek... Oh,
there it is.
Oh, okay, so I just got 20 more subs. I mean, if I turn this into a Star Trek
Oh shit!
You know,
Please do.
space doom type
Let's
thing.
do it. Do it.
I'm not a big Star Trek fan.
No, my mother is big Star Trek, and she introduced me to it when I was a kid, and then I kind of got away from it. And Star Wars is sexy in a way that Star Trek will never be. So
I don't know, man. Green aliens.
yeah,
The Kirk Green woman. That
Star Trek is a very particular. But I just meant it looks cool and has laser swords, and you can't compete with laser swords. Star Trek has like little pew, 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 laser guns, and these guys are fucking. This is a purple fucking laser sword, and that's Star Wars. And what else do you need at that point? It's incredible.
You have won the argument. You have settled the debate that I've had. Because I'm one of the I'll argue it. Just bring up the topic. I'll argue it.